Namaste and good afternoon. As students learning Bharatanatyam and master's degree and now learning Varnam, it's very important and imperative for you to know what is a Varnam, though you are familiar with this word for a long time. But certain technical details, certain things you must know properly. So today we will learn about what is a Varna. Varna means color, and also some scholars relate it to the word Varnanam, that is description. It may be description of the dance style where it is fully exploited. Perhaps due to its adequate nature to portray all the possible and admirable combinations and colors of the style, the Varnam took its words. Varnam basically is a song in the Carnatic music repertoire, which is also part of the dance repertoire, that is in the Margam of Bharatanatyam. A Varnam is a relatively long piece and can range from 30 minutes to up to nearly an hour or 40 minutes. It's in dance. It is usually set to Adi, Rupaka or Atatala. It is the centerpiece in a recital of dance. The lyrics are simple and consist mostly of long syllables and swara phrases of various lengths. They bring out the essential features of the style. Varnam comprises of two parts. The first part is called Purvaranga, that includes Pallavi, Anupallavi, Muktaiswar or Chittaiswar and Muktaiswar or Chittaiswara Sahityam. The second part is called Uttaranga and comprises Charanam and Charanaswaras, also called as Chittaswaras and Charana Sahitya. Charanam in some Varnam will have only Sahitya, whereas some will have both Sahitya Charanam and Charanam Sahitya as well. Following Charanam is Charanam Swara and Sahitya passages. They are also known as Ettugada Swara and Ettugada Sahitya. Each Varnam may have 2, 3, 4 or more of this. Pallavi has some statement in the nature of a prayer or a request, while Anupallavi continues the statement by supposing the statement of the Pallavi and supporting and addresses the deity or the patron as the case may be. Ettugada may be compared to the Charana or Kriti of a Kirtana. Sometimes it is mentioned as Upapallavi or Chitta Pallavi. In Telugu and Kannada, Ettigada means commencement, possession of attack. King Sahaji substituted with the word Charana with Ettugada in some of his compositions. That was later adopted by Varnam composers. The piece of lyric used in Ettugada is comparatively short and mostly has incomplete meaning or may complement to the statement found in Pallavi and Anupallavi. So, you have Pallavi, Anupallavi, Chittai Swara, Chittai Sahitya, Charana Swara and Sahitya both are one, and Ettugada Swara, Sahitya, Ettugada Swara, Sahitya and continue. So, the Purvanga and Uttaranga of the Varna. Muktaiswara is indicated as Chittaswara by some. Chittaswaras with or without
Sahitya are used in Kriti to add color, serve as complemental nor compulsory part. They may have been composed by composers or added later by some other singers. In the Varnam, Muktai Swara is a must. Muktai means finish. It is a concluding portion of the Purvaranga. In Tanavarnam, Muktai Swara may have Sahitya or not. Going further, the set Swara passages that follow the Etugada are called Etugada Swaras to differentiate them from the Muktai Swara. The content of Varnam may be found in the wordings and its underlying theme. It may possess either devotion or love or in praise of a patron. The aim of the choreographer and the composer is to portray the content in all its brilliant hues and shades. Padavarnam is used only for dancing purpose. It is always rendered in a slow tempo and hence is called Chokka Varnam, that is slow, medium tempo. This is a replica of Tanavarnam in the form, but every passage, every Swara passage has its own Sahitya. Sometimes Padavarnam may contain jatis, then it is called Padajati Varnam, which is nothing but a Swara jati. Padavarnams never admit excessive gamakas, are not loaded with sangatis, that is the embellishments. Varnam in dance is the most complicated item of Bharatanatyam Margam, comprising both Nritya and Nritya aspects. The main mood of Varnam may be either Shringar or Bhakti, that is devotion expressed through love to God, called Bhakti Shringar. In Varnam, Nayiki, the heroine or the hero, addresses the Lord directly or indirectly by appealing to a close friend, that is Sakhi, asking help and trying to give her a message to be conveyed. She requests help, laments, reproaches or expresses her love and devotion. In Varnam, the god is considered as the Nayaka, the hero. The abstract idea of God finds its manifestation in God-like human creature. It's a very complicated way for portrayal of emotions, and then varieties of emotions. The Sanchari Bhavas will bring out the ethos of Shringar or Bhakti or any rasa, that is the Pada. There are two types of Varnams. Pada Varnams are used for dance choreography and are also called Chauka Varnams. They are set in slower tempo, that is the Chauka Kalam. All the swaras are accompanied by Sahityam and thus are more suitable for dance. The Tana Varnams are intended for musical performance and practice. Tana Varnams are set in faster tempo. Chitta Swaras of the second part of Tana Varnams do not have Sahityams. Varnam commences with a Tikala Jati, as you know, Sholaka 2s and corresponding series of Adavus are executed here in 3 speeds. So, 3 Kala, Vilambit, Madhyama and Dhruta. The last portion of Trikala Jati is called Kuraipu. Adavus of Kuraipu are performed without repetition. Muktaipu is finishing sequence of Kuraipu, the final chain if Adavus called Mukuta or Tirmana are executed in triple cycle.
Trikala Jati and all other jatis are followed by Arudi or Aradi. That is the rhythmical pattern used at the conclusion of Nritta portions, accompanied by footwork like ta, dida, ta, dida, ta, dida. Besides Trikala Jati, Purvaranga of Varnam includes Kuraipu, which is performed separately, and several different jatis intermingled with singing of Pallavi and Anupallavi. After each line of Pallavi and Anupallavi, jatis are executed, each followed by a arati. So, what you have is starting with Trikala Jati, then the first line of Pallavi, then Kuraipu, there may be another Tirmanam, then the second line of Pallavi, then one or two Tirmanams, then the first line of Anupallavi, again one or two Tirmanams, the second line of Anupallavi, and then one or two Tirmanams followed by Muktaiswara. So, the Muktaiswaras are sung after Anupallavi, which is corresponding with the last jati. I am sure now you are clear with the sequence. For Muktaiswara, dancer executes Korvai, a set of Adavus. Usually Muktaiswara is repeated twice. Muktaiswara Sahitya is again illustrated using Abhinaya. It is also repeated twice. The second repetition is accompanied by Tattimitti or Tattumettu Adavu, that is the footwork set to different rhythmic patterns, and sometimes here the Sarpanadai is also introduced. The Abhinayam here may also be accompanied by Sarpanadai, special way of moving on the stage along like a snake, like curve. Uttaranga part of Varnam is rendered in little faster tempo. It is not the double, but it is little comparatively faster. It starts with Charana Sahityam illustrated using the Abhinaya. Charanam is repeated several times. Each Chitta Swara, Charana Swara is repeated twice. The dancer performs short and brief korvais. Chitta Swara Sahityam follows, also repeated twice and maybe more as the choreographer or the guru decides. First time Chitta Swara is illustrated with pure Abhinaya. The second rendering of the Sahityam is accompanied by Tattumettu Adavu. The Varnam is concluded with Charanam. Charanam is the heart of Varnam, the most emotionally charged line of Sahityam. It expresses the main idea, the message the heroine seeks to convey to her beloved. Often it is formulated as a question, how can I bear the shower of Manmatha arrows? Sometimes as imperative sentence, please come back, my beloved, which contains more or less evident hint of suggestion, hidden intention and innermost wish. The practice of performing Varnams in the solo Bharatanatyam repertoire has seen many changes over the years. In the recent years, a lot of dancers do extensively long Tirmanams with very fast speed. One of the opinions of a senior teachers regarding this is, in the Varnam, Tirmanam should be in proportion to the rest of the piece. Disproportionately lengthy Tirmanams spoil the continuity of the work. So do the unnecessary long Sancharis. When Sanchari go beyond 3 or 4 Avartana, the dance turns into a drama or the mono-acting. At one recital, I counted as many as 60 Avartans of a line, at which point I gave up counting. This kind of thing distorts the form of the Varnam. It is possible to communicate what is necessary in the shortest span of time.
This is opinion of one of the very senior teachers. The Kala Pramana or the tempo of a Varnam should be moderate. This enhances the beauty of the presentation. In the older forms, Tattumettu was never done for the Pallavi and Anupallavi. Tattumetti was done for the Chittaswara and Sahitya. Continuity of Tirmanam should also not be broken. Adavus should be in proportion to the Tirmanams. The stage space should be correctly used. Just as the delineation of Adavu is important, so also are the lines created when covering the stage. A dancer should not wander on the stage. There are certain prescribed ways of moving which should be respected and followed. The Sahityam and Abhinaya in Varnam. Let us discuss that because it is also one of the three important areas. Normally and usually, the Varnam treats the theme of love and yearning for one's beloved. The storyline of Varnam is woven around the anguish and longing expressed by the lovelorn maiden for an ultimate union with the Nayaka, who is presented either as the Lord himself, embodied maybe in the form of local deity, or the king in whose praise the Varnam was composed. Thus the hero can be God or the king. Often it is the description of a passionate woman temporarily ignored, and she is pining or abandoned by her lover. She pleads with him to return to her and attempts to lure him with praise, scolding, images of frustration and sexual consummation, or whatever else might be effectively draw him back. This is all suggestive of earthy pleasures and desires, often quite unabashedly so. On the other hand, one may, as it is expected, to interpret this appeal in more spiritual and philosophical vein, as the yearning of the Jivatma for Paramatma, that is, the individual soul for the Supreme. The desire of man to be united with God, the passionate entreaty of devotee to deity. This dual approach to love, with its great hungers and profound consummations, is in fact no duality at all, but a recognition that the greatest of man's passions carries him beyond all distinctions of physical and spiritual into the realm of supreme undifferentiated bliss. It is the Hindu conception of love as both passion and freedom from passion. So, as you understand, this duality actually does not exist. Prema Lakshana Bhakti. Now we go further. So, how does Varnam differ from other items? The Varnam is distinguished from Shabdam or Kirtanam due to the Nayaka and Nayika Bhava being its main feature. Relationship between hero and the heroine are interpreted in terms of Madhura Bhakti or supreme devotion to God through unalloyed love, that is the Shringara. The contents of majority of Varnams depict Vipralabh Shringara, that is, as you know, love in separation. There are three major characters in Varnam normally: Nayika, the heroine, Nayaka, the hero, and Sakhi, the confidante, friend, or even a guru of the heroine. The plot of Varnam is set according to the spirit of Madhura Bhakti, where the most refined kind of love is that for the God. Thus in Varnam, the hero is symbolically represented by the deity or the king. Real patrons of those days were kings, chieftains, or noblemen. All of them had Ishta Devata or the deity whom they worshipped with particular devotion. Thus, in Sahityam, the image of this deity is used to denote their character, according to Dr. B. M. Sundaram. Since the Padavarna is product of feudal times, its theme is based on bhakti
and Shringara as found in the Padams. The methods to approach God are many. Madhura Bhava or Bhakti Shringara is one of them. Vipralamba Shringara, that is opposite to the Shambhoga Shringara, the union, the separation, arises pangs of separation and innumerable feelings and emotions expressed in poetry. That is why this type of Shringara is most employed as theme of Padavarnam. Varnam is composed as a monologue of the heroine addressed to the hero either directly or indirectly through the medium of Sakhi, the close companion of the heroine. It is a form of monologue of either the heroine, Sakhi or the hero addressed to one of the three. Respectively, the following situations are possible. Naika addresses Sakhi regarding the pangs of separation experienced by her. In this case, Sakhi is supposed to be present on stage while the composition is developed. Sakhi speaking on behalf of the Naika to the Nayaka about the distressful state of the Naika and requesting him to return to the Naika. In this case, the hero is also supposed to be present on the stage. The Naika herself making plea to the Naika to alleviate from her sufferings. In this case, the presence of the hero is not very certain, as in some compositions the hero is the god. Thus, in this case, we have the most pure version of monologue of the heroine addressed to the transcendental divinity. Nayaka expressing his unrequited love to the Naika. The Nayaka Nayiki Bhava is portrayed using two kinds of Abhinaya, the Padartha and the Sanchari Abhinaya. Rukmini Devi Arundel says the technique through which Bhava or expression manifests itself is called Abhinaya. Abhinaya literally means to carry forward, that is to convey a sentiment, a story, a situation to the audience through various means. Rukmini Devi has choreographed many Varnams. In Varnam, two types of Abhinaya are employed. Padartha Abhinaya is illustration of direct meaning of the Sahitya, that is word to word interpretation. Second is Vachikartha Abhinaya, which is more elaborated illustration of the Sahityam. Vachikartha literally means going with the speech. Its purpose is to give wider context to direct meaning of particular line, that is to explain indirect aspects using related mythological stories, association, etc. Such free interpretation is called Sanchari, that is roaming around or walking together. Sanchari also implies a depiction of a story indirectly or directly connected to the meaning of the Sahitya. Padartha usually precedes the Sanchari Bhava and Sanchari Abhinaya. For each line of Sahitya, several variations or several different Padartha interpretations are performed, followed by one Sanchari. Padartha variations usually take one avartana, that is the one line of Sahityam. Sanchari is performed to 2 or 3 or even more lines of lyrics. Repeated, the same line is repeated again and again to perform the Sanchari. Padartha Abhinaya is employed within the whole Varnam. Sanchari is performed only in lines of Pallavi, Anupallavi and sometimes to Etugada Pallavi as well. Delving a little deeper into the delineation of Padartha, it can be observed that the Pada Artha is subjected to modifications and improvisations. That is, not always is absolute word to word interpretation adhered to. Sometimes a word undergoes modification by way of depiction of its adjectival form. This is
The word beautiful can be improvised to depict one who has fish like eyes, or one who has long tresses, or one whose eyebrows are like the bow. This can be said to resemble the Sangati aspect of music. In other words, the interpretations of the line does not undergo a complete change, but is only improvised. While the depiction of Sanchari Bhav is likened to the Niraval aspect, wherein the interpretation is from a totally different point of view. In Varnam, the Pallavi is the burden of the song. It contains declaration of the love by the Naika who has come to meet her lord, or question which the heroine strives to resolve, or expression of her utmost anguish. Thus, the Pallavi gives the start to the whole story. Pallavi comprises a major statement which opens the drama of relationships. It could be in the form of prayer or request, or it could be a question in rhetoric form. Why are you angry? Anupallavi continues the theme given in Pallavi and includes identification of the person addressed, the deity or the patron. Usually, there are hints to characteristic qualities of the hero addressed, descriptions of his nature, virtue and qualities. The mudra of the composer occurs in the second half of Anupallavi, and this is most of the times, but not always, and it is highlighted by singing this portion once in the beginning after Pallavi and once toward the end after Anubandhan. The Anupallavi also may include descriptive details regarding the glory, entrancing beauty, glorious deeds and accomplishments of the hero. This section is kind of Shabdam by structure. Then comes Muktaiswara, and Muktaiswara Sahitya concludes the first part of Varnam. Its function is to summarize the meaning of Pallavi and Anupallavi. Thus, Sahityam of Muktaiswara can contain some myth or story taken from life of the hero, which is very illustrative of his character and helps to understand nature of relationship between the hero and the heroine. Ittugada Pallavi is emotionally charged plea of the heroine. Here she reaches the point of her monologue addressed to the hero. She reveals her attachment and discovers her innermost wish. Ittugada Pallavi is the heart of Varnam, the most emotionally charged line of the Sahityam. It expresses the main idea, the message of the heroine, which she is trying to convey to her beloved. Often it is formulated as a question. How can I bear the shower of Manmatha arrows? Sometimes as imperative sentence, please come back my beloved. Ittugada Pallavi contains the essence of the Varnam. It is the most charged statement and sentence of the whole lyric. Appeal contained in Ittugada Pallavi is the message of the heroine to her hero. In Sahityam of Ittugada Swara, the heroine gives wide picture of her love towards the hero. Using myths or stories as example, she describes her attitude and relation to the hero. Here, she openly expresses her emotions using metaphors. She refers to similar situations of some mythical character or real character or the hero himself. Charana Swara or Sahityam is descriptive, contains additional stories, pleas, pangs of separations and such, all of which resolve in the same line of the Charana Pallavi, which is repeated many times as the pledge of the most cherished desire of her heart. So, as you see, Charana and Ittugada are one and the same. Sahityam of each Charana Swara is concluded with Charana Pallavi, Charana Sahitya as it is said, and as intermediate still unfinished refrain. The nature of Charana Sahitya Pallavi is very interesting in this role of intermediate conclusion. It gives conclusion to the previous line of Charana Swara Sahityam, meaning each line of Swara Sahityam can be understood only coupled with Charana Pallavi. However, it does not provide final resolution but gives beginning for the next line of the Charana Swara Sahityam. Anubandhanam is sung after the last couple of Charana Swara and Charana Pallavi. Anubandham could be regarded as being part of Charana Pallavi, which is sung in full only after completion of the Charana Swara. The same way as in Kriti, only the first line of Pallavi is repeated as refrain. Anubandham completes the sentence of the Charana Pallavi. Earlier, after Anubandha, Anupallavi and Muktai Swara were sung and composition was concluded finally with Pallavi. The heroine, after opening her heart, still is waiting for an answer of the hero. This dramatic effect is very beautiful. This feature provides possibility to integrate the Varnam into some bigger context such as drama. Now let us look into the music and musical interplay and lyrics in the Varnam. Varnam is versatile composition. It unites four essential components, that is rhythm, music, poetry and pure dance, that is nritya, and abhinaya also. So, what is the contribution of each component? How each aspect affects the spectacle in separate and in combination with the other components. Rhythm is embedded in both music and lyrics. Rhythm is the backbone of the dance. Rhythm connects all the components together. The Natunar, the keeper and master of the rhythm, is the director and conductor of the performance accordingly. Rhythm is also the source of power and energy of the whole ensemble. It controls intensity of the energy released in the form of movement of the dancer, sound produced by musical instruments in hands of musicians, including the human voice, and power of emotions released by all members of the performance. Interplay of lyrics and music is very interesting problem in the context of the bhavam, that is the emotional atmosphere of the performance. As the general idea of Varnam is love, the love risen up to transcendental level bhakti, which helps the human to reach liberation of illusions and release the best of his or her nature. At the other side, if the music is not very good, even the great poetry would not save the situation. The good part of that simple fact is how carefully composers select raga for their compositions and how long and hard they work on selecting the varna matus and setting the tune. Poetry of symbolism try to convey feelings, moods and conditions of mind using mechanism of association. Symbol contains no description. Instead of that, it evokes imagination. Symbol is suggestive and gives freedom for interpretation as well. Symbolists emphasize the musical qualities of words and believe that all poetry aspires to the condition of music. Thoughts can be expressed in words. Feelings and emotions are subtle but complex, often contradictory and uncertain. Language is not able to express all shades of emotions. Language is linear and one-dimensional. The lexicon is too limited. Descriptions are subjective. Language appeals to logic. Sounds breaks through language barrier and transcends the logic. In short, the language is descriptive and music is evocative. Varnam discovers power of vowels and superiority of abstract sound patterns over the verbal meaning. One more interesting thing about Varnam is the existence of two different centers of gravity in it, that one lies in Pallavi of the Purvaranga and the other one in the Charana or Etugada Pallavi of the Uttararanga. The major music theme is the Pallavi itself. The first Avartana or the first phrases of Pallavi are like an embryo and seed of the whole composition. The main theme of Pallavi is developed in Anupallavi and summed up in Muktaiswara. Melodic lines of Etugada section concentrate on specific areas of the raga. In case of Sahityam, situation is different. Etugada Pallavi is the central, the most important potential line of the Varnam. Pallavi could be considered as preamble. Anupallavi and Muktaiswara Sahitya, if any, contain descriptive development of the situation. The message and meaning of the composition is given in Charana Pallavi. Charana Swara Sahityam is insinuating. It elaborates the idea formulated in Etugada Pallavi, projects it on similar mythical situations. In the Purvaranga section, melodic aspect dominates. Here, emotions and feelings of the heroine are hidden inside and uncertain even for the heroine herself. Sahityam is not very elaborate and the underplay, mood, sthai bhava is determined by music. As Sahityam do not give clear and exact descriptions, there are many possibilities for imagination and suggestions. Pallavi, Anupallavi concentrates on emotional state of the heroine. Correspondingly, Abhinaya of the first section is more intense and deep, as in the Padam. Here rhythm sets itself in the jati, clearly separated from musical notes. Thus, music is also given a lot of freedom. Each line is repeated many times with musical sangati, while the dancer performs variations and sanchari. Muktaiswara serves as conclusion of the Purvaranga. At the same time, it is employed as transition, the bridge to the second part of the Varnam.